1, 2. 1, 2. Oh.
Dustin Logan is getting a last few practice jabs in before his big fight. He'll enter the octagon Saturday night at Wild Horse Pass Casino for his first MMA fight, which coincidentally will also be his last.
Why this is the first and last MMA fight is because if my kidney gets hit, there's nothing to take over.
And he can't think of a better reason to lose one of his kidneys because it's going to someone he loves, his father.
My dad's my best friend.
So before surgery, Dustin knew if he was ever going to fight, it was now or never.
They didn't even go into detail about it. I just said, hey, I need a fight soon. Find me a fight.
It's a big motivator for him, training at the gym, and so are his military service years. He wears it with pride, too. Army blazoned across his shirt, American flag on his shorts.
When I was getting ready to deploy, there was no choice. It was like, you're going. You got this much time to get ready. So for this, it was kind of the same thing.
He says fulfilling this dream wouldn't have happened without Tom Ortiz and World Fighting Federation, who took a chance on the veteran.
Now's the appointed time for him to fulfill his dream, and then even a bigger dream, you know, save your father's life.
All that's left now is to get in the octagon, and Dustin says there are no regrets because his biggest fan, Dad, will be in the stands.
Good job, good.
It's almost silent. I'm not used to it. I'll never get used to it. There's just a sense of loss.
And that sense of loss is felt every day at Fire Station 7.
Everything you see and feel is still about the Granite Mountain Hot Shots.
Including the first thing you see when you walk in. Tiles spelling out the Hot Shots names right at the entrance. Handcrafted by the Hot Shots themselves.
Every morning when you walk in, you see that reminder.
And the reminders don't stop there for Captain Daryl Willis. From this dream catcher made by the Yarnell 19 still hanging to hold their pens, to the list of their daily chores around the fire station. Everywhere you look, there's still a strong presence of the 19 men who gave up their lives.
That's pretty telling right here, is to see empty lockers.
And while the emptiness is hard to bear some days, it's the small things, like the heights of each of the firefighters marked on the wall. Apparently an inside joke among the fallen hotshots.
I'll still have memories of Jesse and Clay and Turby and, you know, Joe and, you know, Scott, all of the young men that I'll never get rid of that, and I'll always remember voices.
And while eventually Fire Station 7 will have to move on, Willis says he wants to hold off as long as possible.
It's probably a good thing. It's a healing thing. But on the other hand, it's a difficult time. We are going to rebuild, but we don't want to do it disrespectfully. It's not like, wipe this clean, it's gone. You know, there'll always be a part of us, but at some point in time, we're going to have to change these names.
My name is Dan Beatty. I'm a retired Navy captain. I was in for about 24 years. I served mostly overseas in Vietnam, Cambodia.
My brothers were in during World War II. I was in there a couple of months, and then Korea started, so I said, hell, I found a home, and I stayed in 30 years.
Right!
I thought it was exciting until somebody starts shooting at you. You forget it's a game. In Korea, it was hell while we were there, but then we stopped in Japan on the way home. That was exciting. I love this. I think Tempe does a great job. It's not a big parade, but it's great for the community, and I think it's great for the veterans. The veterans really enjoy it.
Thank you for your service.
You bet. Thanks for being here, big guy. Nobody liked the Vietnam War very much, so there wasn't this patriotism back in those days, but now I think people like me are getting paid back a little bit, and it's really nice to see.
I'm very proud to be a member of the armed forces, or was. I still am. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Just ask a Mesa man getting lots of love from the community for his sick wife after thieves strike. A wife's love of roses.
Back in Minnesota, we had tons of roses.
And a husband's love.
I would cut roses off of those and bring them into the bedroom for her so she could smell her roses every morning.
Dennis Flieger planted the rose bushes for his wife, Kim, hoping to lift her spirits.
April 2011, my wife was diagnosed with stage 4 cervical cancer. And then April of 2013, they determined that the cancer spread to her brain.
While Kim is in the hospital fighting the cancer and battling seizures, last week, Dennis found himself in a different kind of fight.
I got up in the morning to water the plants and the roses and noticed that there's holes in the ground. Somebody took out the rose bush by the street and then the middle red rose.
Angry and frustrated, Dennis made a sign.
Thank you for whoever has stolen the rose bushes. They were for my wife, who was recovering from cancer. Then I put thanks.
He was hoping the thieves would see the sign, maybe even bring back the roses. But he didn't expect what happened next.
He seemed really shocked and stunned. He was like, I can't believe, someone would come by and do this.
Keith Duffin and 3 of his kids saw the sign earlier in the week and wanted to help.
This guy pulls up with 3 kids, drops off these rose bushes. I took pictures of it and sent it to her and stuff, and my daughter said she was actually in tears.
Well, it's hard not to have empathy with someone that's already in a painful situation.
Dennis says the roses meant the world to Kim, and for him, the gesture presented another challenge, this time a welcome one.
I mean, I'm not much of a crier, but when the guy gave them to me, it was like it was just tears in my eyes for me, because I can't believe what people are doing, just for a sign.